So when talking about economies of scale, we're talking about a cost advantage of a firm because of its ability to expand. So the cost advantage you have, that means a reduction in your average cost of production as a result of expansion. That is what economies of scale is. Did you get my point here? So let's go down and say, okay, economies of scale. Large firms can usually produce goods more cheaply than small firms. The size of a firm has an important effect on the average cost of production. As a firm increases its size, average cost starts to fall. This is because of economies of scale. So, as a firm starts increasing its operational, as a firm starts increasing its scale of operations, it is expected of its average cost of production to fall.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you increase your output, the cost for each unit will start reducing.
Yeah.
That is what reduction in the average cost of production means. So that is economies of scale. Do you get the point?
Sure. What about the diseconomies?
We get there. So for diseconomies of scale, diseconomies of scale occurs when a firm starts witnessing an increase in its average cost of production despite expansion. So there's expansion, but you are witnessing an increase in your average cost of production.
Because of low quantities of products.
Now, there are different reasons why we could have diseconomies of scale.
Okay.
So one of the reasons why you could have diseconomies of scale is lack of coordination. You know, you have a lot of people that you cannot coordinate. You have employed large numbers of people that they are not really actually working. So your cost.
There's no managers.
They are not being managed well.
Yeah, you know, it's managed poorly.
What?
Managed poorly.
Poorly, yeah.
Yeah.
So you will pay them. It is expected of them to do more than what they used to do, but they are not.
They are lazy.
No, it's not maybe they are lazy. It might depend on your structure. Some workers are not lazy, but the structure allows inefficiency. The structure allows, inefficiency. So it's always the structure. If the structure is, designed well, everyone would be up and doing. So we go down. So the average cost of, it's always a U shape. It's U-shaped.
U-shaped?
Yes. Are you with me?
That's economies and economies.
Yeah, so in between is our return to scale. As soon as you move above the economies of scale, you will start witnessing these economies of scale. Because at that point in time, your output is increasing. At the same time, you are increasing what? Your average cost of production.
But it can happen both.
Economies and diseconomies of scale happening at the same time.
No, yeah.
No, it's not possible. It's either it's economies of scale or diseconomies of scale.
Okay,
or optimum level. Okay. Optimum level is where you cannot go beyond.
Between economies.
You must not go above it. That's the optimum level. Because as soon as you go above the optimum level, you're going to witness diseconomies of scale.
Sure.
Are we together?
Yeah, we're together.
Okay, done. So we go to internal economies of scale. Internal. I wouldn't take the video. We have internal economies of scale. Internal economies of scale are the cost benefit that an individual firm can enjoy when it grows. So we call it internal economies of scale because this is a cost advantage for a firm because it's expanding within, the expansion happens within the business.
Yes.
So the firm is expanding, the business is expanding within its jurisdiction.
Sure.
That is internal economies of scale. So what are the causes of internal economies of scale? Number one, purchasing economies of scale. So you could call them the causes, and it could be the types of internal economies of scale. Are you with me?
Sure.
So the first one is purchasing economies. When we talk about purchasing economies, it simply means a cost advantage you have because you buy in bulk. Bulk purchasing. So when you buy in bulk, you are able to get discount on the quantities you bought. So the discount you get reduces the unit.
From the suppliers.
Yes, from the suppliers, yes. So the discount you get reduces your cost of production. So the average cost of production would reduce because of the discount you got. That is purchasing economies of scale. So do you get purchasing economies of scale?
Why they give businesses discounts?
They give discounts to encourage bulk purchasing. So you know that if you buy in large quantities, there's tendency for you to get a reduced price.
Sure.
So that encourages you to buy. So discount encourages businesses to buy in large quantities.
Okay, good.
Clear.
That's the reason.
That's one reason for purchasing economies of scale.
Sure.
Clear. The second one, marketing economies of scale. A number of marketing economies exist. For example, it may be cost effective for a large firm to run its own delivery vehicles. For a large firm with lots of deliveries to make, this would be cheaper than paying a distributor. Marketing economies can occur because some marketing costs, such as producing a television advert, are fixed. These costs can be spread over more units of output for a larger firm. Therefore, the average cost of adverts is smaller for a large firm. For marketing economies of scale, the advertisement cost is always fixed. The cost of advertisement is fixed. But for a big firm, for a big company, a big business, because you have you have different product portfolio, or you have different products available.
Yes.
You have different services you render. So they can use the same advert for all. They can use the same time frame, the same timeline to advertise all your products. So that means the cost of advertisement can be spread across all your products. Unlike a small business.
So basically, it's the same advert basically, but changing with the different products.
Yes, display changes. Oh, this is what it means. Oh, ABC is a company.
Yeah.
DCE is a company. ABC produces different products. DCE produces just one product.
Yeah.
And we're going to pay the same advertisement cost. We're going to pay the same fee for advertisement.
Yeah, sure.
ABC might display different kind of product during the advertisement. DCE can only display one product. So the cost of advertising for DCE is high because it cannot spread the cost cut across other products. But for ABC, it can spread the cost cut across other products.
Yeah.
That is marketing economies of scale. Do you get it?
Understand.
So for large businesses, their cost of marketing is always
small.
reduced. Yes.
Just like it reminds me of Burger King. They're doing, the video, the advert. They're doing with the same, formula or the same thing all over again, with different products.
That's it.
Yeah.
But a small business will not be able to do that. A small
Yeah.
fast food restaurant might not be able to do that. Do you get it?
Yeah, sure.
Technical economies of scale. Technical economies of scale occurs because larger plants are often more efficient than smaller ones. There can be more specialization and more investment in machinery. One example of technical economies is the way a large firm would make better use of an essential resource than a smaller firm. So, technical economies of scale.
Okay.
Technical economies of scale simply means that a large firm has the capability to invest in large equipment or large machinery, and it is expected of a large equipment or machinery to perform more efficient than a small equipment or a small machinery. Yes or no?
So what do you mean by that?
Using large equipment or machinery, they produce more.
Yeah.
They do better than using a small equipment.
Of course.
So that is economies of scale on its own. So large firms, large businesses have the ability to buy equipment, machinery that would allow them to have efficiency. Smaller firms might not be able to do that. So that is technical economies of scale.
So basically, if a machine is bigger and can produce more efficiently than small ones, then it's
economies of
as
scale. It's an example of economies of scale. Internal.
Okay.
Clear. The next one. Financial economies of scale. For financial economies of scale, it simply talks about how large firms can become attractive to financial institutions, unlike small firms.
What do you mean?
Small firms will find it difficult to source for finance,
Of course.
especially when it is external. But for large firms, because they are large,
Yeah.
banks want to transact with them, because if you are large, it means you are successful. So everybody wants to associate with a successful business,
Of course.
which is a large business. So large businesses can have access to loans at a cheaper rate than small businesses.
Of course.
Do you get it? Because large businesses are not considered as high risk, unlike small businesses. For small businesses, banks do not want to give them loans because they are being considered as high risk. They might not have the capability to pay back.
Oh, I know.
So the
Yeah.
accessibility comes to large businesses. They have access to loans, they have access to finance because they are being considered
So-
as big and successful.
That makes it economy of scale.
Financial economies of scale. So they're going to be able to get loans even at a reduced cost. But for smaller firms,
They cannot do that.
they can't. Banks, if banks wants to give them loan, banks will charge them high interest to discourage them.
Makes it a disadvantage for smaller companies.
And that is economies of scale. Clear? Is it clear, please?
Clear.
Managerial economies. As firms expand, they can afford specialist managers. A small business may employ a general manager responsible for finance, human resources, marketing, and production.
How's that mean?
The manager may find this role demanding and may be weak in some areas of the job. A large firm can employ specialists. As a result, efficiency is likely to improve and average costs fall. Managerial economies of scale. A small business would not have the financial capability to employ specialists. If it might employ one to do all. Unlike a large business will have different specialists for different roles. A small business would have a specialist for many roles. And having a specialist for many roles means inefficiency would come in place.
Really?
He might get tired, she might get tired. You are making him to do her to do a lot of
Yeah,
things.
you're forcing employee to do more stuff.
To do more.
Then they cannot.
As a result, inefficiency will come in, and that might even increase the average cost of production. But for large firms, they can even attract the most skilled workers, the most skilled managers in the industry because they are big. Everyone wants to associate him or herself to a big firm. So that allows efficiency because a large firm will have the ability to employ skilled managers or special managers for special purpose, or for each department a manager can be assigned, unlike a small business.
Yeah.
So employing different managers for different roles will bring about efficiency, and that would reduce the cost of production. Small firms do not have these opportunities.
So basically, more specialist managers makes it
More efficient.
more efficient.
Clear.
Okay, makes sense.
The next one, risk-bearing economies. When we talk about risk-bearing, it's simply talking about diversification. A large firm can diversify.
Oh yeah, sure.
So diversifying means you are spreading your risk.
Yeah.
So for a large firm, because you have different product portfolio, because you have different products or different services, it means if service A is not selling or product A is not selling, product B might sell. So if product B is not selling, product C might sell. As a large business, you are able to spread your risk.
Yeah.
Unlike a small business with limited product portfolio. So if that product or service is not selling, then you are
That's
gone.
a problem.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that is risk bearing. The ability of a firm
Making
to be able to
risks.
spread its
Risks.
risk.
Yeah.
Diversification. Any question about internal economies of scale?
Yeah.
Clear, right?
So basically, they can just bring out many products many new products as possible
Yeah.
to
To diversify.
Yeah.
And that would bring about economies of scale. Is it clear?
Clear.
External. Sometimes all firms in an industry can enjoy falling average cost as the whole industry grows. This is called external economies of scale. For external, it simply means a cost advantage that all firms in the industry have as a result of the industry expanding. There's educational industry or the educational market. The market or the industry for education, like schools, private schools, and the rest. If the industry starts, expanding, if the industry becomes bigger,
Yeah.
it is expected to have a reduced average cost for each firm. So that will bring about external economies of scale. So what I'm simply saying is this:
Okay.
an industry comes in place. An industry is a combination of all firms. So the combination of firms bring about industry. Do you get it?
That's external economies of scale.
So, if this industry expands and
If all of the firms are expanding, that means external economies.
no, if the industry itself is expanding,
Industry.
yes, it comprises all the firms.
Mm.
Before now, some 7 years ago,
Mm.
the number of private schools are minimal,
Yeah.
unlike now.
Mm.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
So that means the industry is becoming bigger.
Bigger. Yeah.
As a result of this, the cost of production for each school starts reducing
Mm.
due
Sure.
to the expansion of the industry.
Mm.
This is external economies of scale.
Makes sense.
You get it?
Yeah.
A reduction in the average cost as a result of expansion within the industry.
Okay.
Clear? So, external economies are more likely to occur if an industry is concentrated in a particular region. So, what are the other reasons why we have external economies of scale? Number one, skilled labor. If an industry is concentrated in one area, there may be a build-up of labor with the skills and work experience required by that industry. As a result, training costs will be lower when workers are recruited. It is also likely that the local schools and colleges will provide vocational courses that are required by local industry.
Mm.
So, external economies of scale will happen if an industry
Yeah.
is concentrated in a region.
That means many.
The educational industry
Yeah.
is mostly in Tripoli, right?
Mm.
That's why we have a lot of schools in Tripoli.
Mm.
So this will bring about a lot of skilled labor. So a lot of skilled work teachers would come from wherever they are to Tripoli because a lot of schools are in Tripoli. So that's why they said an external economies of scale may occur if the industry is concentrated in one region. Tripoli as an example.
Mm.
So because there are lots of schools now,
Yeah.
there are going to be a lot of teachers. There's going to be a lot of teachers.
Yes.
That is skilled labor.
Of course.
Do you get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Infrastructure. If a particular industry dominates a region, the roads, railways, ports, buildings, and other facilities will be shaped to suit that industry needs. Now, Tripoli has a lot of schools.
Yes.
As a result, a lot of road infrastructure is happening.
Mm.
The government is putting a lot of police on road. A lot of roads, they are rebuilding different roads.
Yes.
Why are they rebuilding these roads? They are rebuilding these roads because there are a lot of traffic.
Mm. Of course.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So they start building bridges, roads, because of large numbers of schools available. And it attracts a lot of people coming to Tripoli. So Tripoli is becoming bigger because a lot of schools are available. A lot of people are coming in.
Oh.
Do you get it?
I get it.
So government wouldn't want to lose these schools due to lack of infrastructure.
Yeah.
Rather, government will start building infrastructure, investing in
Of course.
infrastructure.
Obviously.
That is infrastructure. Ancillary and commercial services. An established industry in a region will encourage ancillary suppliers in that industry to set up close by. Specialist marketing, cleaning, banking, waste disposal, distribution, maintenance, and components suppliers.
What is ancillary? Ancillary.
What? Ancillary.
Yeah.
It's connected to the business itself,
Oh.
but it's not part. It's connected to the business. These are things that are in existence because a business is in existence or the industry is in existence.
Mm.
Do you get it?
Mm.
Like we have. Let me cite an example. We have the school.
Yes.
Now, because of the schools, we have libraries, we have tutorials, we have these things.
Mm.
So they are in existence because of the school.
Ah.
Because the educational industry is becoming bigger.
Mm.
So there's going to be need for private tutoring. There's going to be need for tutorials. There's going to be need for libraries.
Okay.
That's the point.
Mm.
Is it clear?
Mm.
So these services will be rendered because of the industry is becoming bigger.
Of course.
Clear?
Okay.
The third one. Cooperation. When firms in the same industry are located close to each other, they are likely to cooperate with each other so that they can all gain. When we talk about cooperation, we're simply talking about So for cooperation, we're simply talking about working hand in hand. The industry is becoming bigger. The educational industry is becoming bigger. Schools, they might be having meetings. They might be, having different conversations. They might be, coming to a different agreements so that there will be proper or smooth running of so schools might work hand in hand for for smooth running of their business. So they have to come together to agree, despite the fact that they are competitors, but they still have to come together for proper running. Maybe they have to come together to ensure that roads are done. They have to come together to ensure that the police are always, helping out and the rest. So there needs to be cooperation. They can also try to even.
Wait, the firms are helping each other.
They have to agree on things like research and development. So because they are working together, it's an industry.
Yeah.
So if a firm is trying to do it all alone, it might incur more cost. So they are likely to work together in some certain things so that the cost could be reduced. Is it clear?
Sure.
These economies of scale.
Economies. Okay.
These economies of scale. When I'm talking about these economies of scale, it occurs as a result of expansion. So it means the average cost of production, which is expected to reduce, starts increasing after the optimum level. That is these economies of scale. Do you get it?
Sure.
These economies of scale, okay?
Sure.
For these economies of scale, we're simply talking about an increase in the average cost of production, despite the fact that the firm is expanding. That is these economies of scale.
Yes. True.
So what are the reasons why a firm or a business might witness these economies of scale? The first one is bureaucracy. When we talk about bureaucracy, so larger businesses rely more on bureaucracy. If a business becomes too bureaucratic, it means that too many resources are used in administration. Too much time may be spent filling in forms or writing reports. Also, decision making may be too slow and communication channels too long. If resources are wasted in administration, average costs will start to rise.
What is bureaucracy?
Bureaucracy is simply talking about having large numbers of departments or large numbers of administrators because the business is expanding.
Having too much departments.
Administrators and they were, yes.
Oh.
So this will bring about slow decision making. And if decisions become slow, then the average cost might start increasing because it means you are not going to take the right decision at the right time.
Yeah.
And that might lead to business failure.
Because there's so many apartments you cannot
departments.
Yeah, I said it. It's hard to make decisions easily.
So you have a lot of managers, you have a lot of paperwork. So these are bureaucracy. They are bureaucratic decisions.
Yeah.
So this means we have to go through this, that. It takes time, it wastes time.
Yes.
And whatever wastes time increases cost. Clear? The second one, labor relations. If a firm becomes too big, relations between workers and managers may deteriorate. Management may fail to understand workers and they may become demotivated. As a result, conflict may occur and resources may be wasted resolving them. Labor relations. If firms become too big, they might start having problems with workers. The managers and the workers might start having problems.
For what?
Before now, we know the manager, he knows us. We can easily reach him.
Yes.
But now the business is becoming bigger. We have a lot of employees. We can't reach the manager as we used to reach him or her.
Yeah.
So this might deteriorate our relationship.
Yeah, sure.
And if this happens, it might lead to reduction in the average cost of production. It would lead to an increase in the average cost of production.
Sure.
Do you get the point here?
Yeah, I get the point.
So labor relations, the relationship might deteriorate because of expansion. You have a lot of workers that the managers have to take care of. Not only when it was just 10. Now we have like 40, 50 that the manager has to take care of.
True.
So because we cannot reach, the manager becomes remote to us.
Yeah.
This might demotivate us. And when the motivation comes in,
Mm.
workers will not do how they what they used to do.
Mm.
Their productivity would fall. Average cost of production would increase. Clear?
Yeah. Basically, it's more harder to reach the manager than before.
So that
It has
motivates them.
because he has to deal with other employees.
Not when it was just
It
you
gets
alone.
more complicated than simple.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
And the last one, control and coordination.
Mm.
This simply talks about the inability to put things together between departments.
Mm.
The business becomes too big that we cannot even coordinate or arrange things, organize things amongst departments,
Yeah.
amongst people.
Mm.
This is diseconomies of scale. Do you
Mm.
understand?
Yeah.
So you could have countless of employees, like thousands of workers.
Mm.
When you have them, it might be difficult for you to organize them or control them.
Yeah.
And if you cannot do that, that means they won't be doing the right thing.
Mm.
And that might increase your cost of production.
Yes.
Is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Clear.
So that is diseconomies of scale. Any question about that?
No.
All right. So we go down here this side. Okay. Okay. Other limits to growth.
Really?
Yeah, are you there?
Yeah.
Other limits to growth. The economies of scale are likely to discourage businesses from growing too big. However, there are numbers of other barriers that might prevent a business from growing in size. So, so here we want to talk about limitations to growth.
Mm.
So one of the reasons why businesses might not want to grow
Mm.
is because of these economies of scale.
Yeah.
So, but not only these economies of scale, there are other reasons why a business might have limitation to growth.
Mm.
Aside these economies of scale.
Sure.
The next one is lack of finance.
Mm.
If the firm doesn't have the financial, is unable to source for
Mm.
finance
Mm.
to fund the expansion, then it won't be able to grow.
Sure.
So the inability of a firm or of a business to be able, to have cash or fund to finance the expansion will not allow it to grow.
Sure.
So you think about growth, yes, but there's no financial capacity to grow. You don't have the funds available. So lack of funds might stop your growth. Clear?
Sure.
The second one, nature of the markets. Some markets are too small to sustain very large companies. Only relatively small numbers of very wealthy people can afford. Okay, so when we talk about nature of the market,
Okay.
what kind of market is it? The type of market.
Mm.
Some markets are small, and they should be left small.
Mm.
Like the market for luxury,
Yeah.
like Rolls Royce, it can be a big market. It's not a mass market.
Yeah.
So this market, because they produce luxury, they are not expected to become larger.
Sure. Yeah.
So even with the financial capability, it becomes a waste if you try to expand such markets. Is it clear?
Yeah, I get it.
The third one, lack of managerial skills. Some businesses may be prevented from growing because the owners do not have the managerial skills required to run a large business operation. So
Yeah.
the owners might not have that managerial skills
Sure.
to run a business that is so large.
Mm.
They might be able to handle a small business, but
Sure.
to a certain extent.
Mm.
But if it exceeds that, they don't have the technical know-how to be able to arrange things. So they
Okay.
would just leave it the way they are,
Yeah.
because they know if they do, they're going to fail.
Mm.
Is it clear?
Sure.
Lack of motivation. Some business owners do not want to grow their businesses. They may be happy running a small business. They may be making enough profit to satisfy their needs and do not want the responsibility of taking on more workers,
Okay.
expanding operations and borrowing more money. So they are happy with profit satisficing.
Mm.
We call it what? Profit satisficing.
Mm.
Do you understand? So they are happy with the amount of money profit they make. They don't want to expand because expansion will bring about more responsibility. They
Yeah.
are not in for that.
Mm.
So the owners,
They're not ready for it.
they are not ready for it.
Mm.
As a result, they are not even thinking about expansion. So these are the reasons why a business might not be able to grow. Lack of finance, owners not having that motivation to grow, diseconomies of scale,
Mm.
which is also part of it. What else did we talk about again?
Lack
Lack of
of
managerial
managerial
skills.
skills.
Are they clear, please?
Nature of
The nature of the type of the market itself.
Yeah.
Are they clear?
Mm.
Any question about it?
No.
All right. So we go to MCQs for chapter 40, economies of scale, and economies and diseconomies of scale.
Okay, sure. Okay, number one, employing a specialist cost accountant in a growing business is an example of which type of economy? A. Technical economy. B. Risk-bearing economy. C. Managerial economy. And D. Marketing economy.
So when you employ a specialist cost accountant, it is what?
Isn't that obvious?
It is what, please?
Okay, marketing economy.
Marketing. How can it be marketing? Marketing simply talks about what? Marketing talks about what? Marketing economies of scale.
Marketing.
Marketing economies of scale means what? You are able to advertise your product at a reduced cost
Yeah.
because you are a large firm. Is that about employing cost accountants?
No, obviously.
So why did you choose marketing economies of scale? Can you read the options again, please, and check?
Okay, employing a specialist cost.
Employing.
Yeah.
So what economies of scale is that?
C.
Managerial economy of scale. So why did you choose marketing before?
No.
You better reason well before you choose. Reason well before you choose, okay?
Okay, sure.
Question 2. So the answer is C, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Question 2, please.
Okay, number 2. What impact will internal economies of scale have on, costs? Okay. A total cost will fail.
Will fall.
Will fall. B. Average costs will rise. C. Variable cost will rise. D. Average cost will fall. What impact will internal economies of scale have on costs? Impact. Obviously, average cost will fall.
Great. D. Question 3.
Because will rise, that means it's diseconomies.
Question 3.
Not on. That's the opposite.
Question 3, please.
Okay, number 3. Which of the following is an example of an external economy of scale? Example. Okay, an increased cooperations and information sharing between businesses. B. Rising costs of input. C. Lower costs owing to bulk buying. D. Better efficiency resulting from specialization
From the specialization of labor.
of labor. Examples. Good cooperation, information, and information. Also costs of input. All costs of bulk buying. Deeper efficiency. A.
Increased cooperation and information sharing between businesses. Yes.
Yes, corporations. More firms, it means more sharing.
Question 3A. Question 4, please.
Yeah, I remember you told me that. Okay, number 4. Which of the following is a possible limit to our business growth? Possible limits. Foreign exchange rate, government restrictions, marketing constraints, lack of finance. Lack of finance.
Lack of finance. Great. So question 4 is D.
Yes.
So that ends chapter 40.
Yes.